Hey everybody, welcome back. Coming to you for day 3 of the Kill Moist Critical Challenge. Um, and it's about 2 p.m. I just finished editing my latest YouTube upload. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling accomplished. And I'm just ready to face the task at hand. What can I say? Every day I wake up, I check. I'm like, is there another Moist Critical video? And there always is, you know. I wonder, is it possible to make a good video every day? Like, I don't upload enough videos myself. I know that, but what's the flip side? Just becoming a fucking content zombie like Moist Critical is. I'll try not to repeat myself too much, but it's like, no wonder these videos fucking suck ass. There's like more than one of them for every single day of the week. Oops, we got a fucking issue here. Bear with me, squad.
But I'm going to go ahead and put this in the books that I think...
All right, here we go. There's something, guys, something bad happened. There's a bad thing, and Moist Critical needs to talk about it because it's bad. So, let's watch.
I know it's a little early to call this, but I'm going to go ahead and put this in the books that I think we just got the worst movie that 2024 will experience. We basically got the Lord of the Rings Gollum for movies already this year. And I know I said something similar when Night Swim dropped a couple months ago, but I think Megamind 2 Doom Syndicate is much worse, and I'd like to explain why.
You didn't like Megamind 2 Doom Syndicate? That wasn't a good movie, bro. Sweet hand tat, by the way. Love that. That's my girlfriend just got me some protein powder for my birthday. Let me grab it. It's got the same bullshit mandala that's also on Nigel Houston's butt cheeks. Here it is. God, who needs a fucking haircut worse? You or me, Moist Critical? There it is. Yeah, my girlfriend got me protein powder. My dad got me tequila. So I'm all set.
It just dropped today, and I've already had the entire day ruined by watching it, so I wouldn't wish that curse upon my worst enemy. I know that's not shocking news. There's no one surprised to hear that this is horrible. But I was certainly surprised at just how atrocious it is. Just by giving it the old eyeball test, everyone who looked at any of the trailers or like the 6-minute sneak peek they gave could immediately recognize that they really brought their A game when making Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate. And by A game, I mean ass game. This shit looks like turbo ass. Fuck me, it's an eyesore to watch. And the only
It's an eyesore to watch. I actually can't figure out. Okay, earlier today I was driving in the car and I was like, I don't really want to listen to any music. So I found a live stream that somebody clipped of Moist Critical being a fucking idiot, dumb as a rock, and he's talking about Lululemon products. He's like, I went into the Lululemon store and everything was so expensive. I just couldn't understand how it's so expensive. Why are a pair of pants $120? I go to Walmart. I buy everything at Walmart and I've never had a problem with anything from Walmart. It's like, okay, dude, that's nice for you. But he's saying he's never busted a piece of clothing from Walmart, and he's like denying that you can get higher quality clothes than what they sell at Walmart. He's not entirely denying it, but he's basically saying anybody who buys anything from Lululemon is an idiot. Now, I've never bought something from Lululemon, but I'm aware of the fact that there is a spectrum in the quality of garments that are available for purchase. Is Lululemon stuff a little bit overpriced? Probably, but most stuff that is worth buying is expensive. Now, if Charlie wants to shop exclusively at Walmart and look like shit, that's totally his prerogative. He's in his rights to do that. But what I fucking hate from this dude is acting like he has some like ethical edge on people for not understanding why they shop at Lululemon. He does this shit all the time where he'll say, Maybe we should have just watched that live stream. Fuck, that'd be kind of breaking the formula, though. He does this thing all the time where he says, I just don't understand it. I just don't get it. I just don't. And it's like, instead of creating like an actual cogent argument against the thing that you're talking about, it's like a crutch to just say, I don't get it. It's crazy. It's psychotic. You know, like anybody paying $120 for a pair of pants is crazy. Why don't you do some fucking investigative work and find out the difference between a pair of Lululemon's athletic pants and the bullshit that you're buying from Walmart? Because I promise you, there's a fucking difference.
Known cure for sore eyes, as recommended by optometrists, is Godslap, baby. That's right, the worst movie of the year may have just dropped, but the best comic of the year just came out.
Not
Godslap
again, a minute in? Jesus.
Here right now. You can pick up a copy at badegg.co, link in the description. First of all, it follows a beloved animated film from 2010. The original Megamind was a huge hit. People really liked it. And that was 14 years ago. So it's old enough now to be calling your mother a whore on Xbox Live.
Okay, another Xbox Live joke. We like it. I accused this guy. This is where I was going even originally with that segment before I got distracted. I accused this guy of having a ghost writing staff. And I still think that he might. But after watching his live stream, I think he has like a set of phrases on lock in his brain that he like kind of rattles off, because he was using some of these similar references live. Like he referenced John Wick and shit while he was live streaming, and they seem a little too like conveniently placed. So he has some kind of script, I know for sure, but now I'm starting to second guess whether or not he does like actually have a writing staff. I can't figure it out. Or if he just has a fucking Google Doc with like 900 gaming / pop culture references he can pull out of his ass at any given moment.
And out of nowhere, Peacock announced that they were going to be releasing the sequel this year. And people were pumping their fists like, yeah, more Megamind, let's go. Until they watched the trailer. Immediately, you can see that the Megamind sequel looks significantly worse than the original. Not only does it look worse than the movie from 2010, it looks worse than the video games from 2010 that were just shovelware. The Megamind PlayStation game, which was legitimately just a quick cash grab because that was during the era where every movie had a subsequent game release, just to continue double dipping, double fisting into the consumer's pocketbook. It somehow looks worse than that game, which again was just a quick cash grab. So what was the point? I don't really get it. After watching the movie,
okay, he's not gonna get it. He tends to not get a lot of stuff, if you haven't noticed. So many gripes or grievances that he has with shit, and with I don't get it. It's like it's this projection of like a moral worldview, but it's like it comes from this really like this sense of intellectual superiority that pisses me off about him. But it's like, if he was kind of as smart, or if his attitude sort of aligned with like his IQ or whatever that he fucking acts like he has, then he would be able to explain the shit that he doesn't really understand. That's what pisses me off so much about it. It's like some of these topics are complete shit, but other times I feel like there are opportunities to explore, you know, larger trends in the world through the doors of these, you know, specific situations. But I find he almost, I mean on day 3 here, he doesn't do that. Not that I've ever seen, and I haven't seen so far. He never does that. He always just bitches about one specific thing. And it's so easy to do that because it doesn't like require any intellectual labor or, you know, a thirst for a further understanding of the world around you. It's so much easier to just shake your stick at tiny little things individually instead of, you know, zooming out and trying to figure out how these preposterous situations, happen. It's like the thing with the last video where he didn't understand that the OnlyFans girl was doing that you know, doing a fucking marketing stunt. And it's like, you know, with any kind of basic context, if you're alive and sentient and paying attention to the shit that's going on in 2024 and the different, self-promotional strategies that people have, these things are relatively obvious. But if you fixate so much on the tiny little individual events, you won't understand why anything is happening, and you'll just be flabbergasted going, I don't know, I don't get why it's happening.
It really seems like they did this purely out of obligation, or they did this to test if AI could make a full movie.
Oh, not
and
AI
I know that's
again.
a criticism that gets tossed around a lot, but I really do think AI had a strong hand in the creation of Megamind Doom Syndicate. There's just no reason for its existence. I'd call it a waste of money, but it doesn't feel like they spent any money on it in the first place. Like everyone could recognize from the trailer, it looks horrible. It's as cheaply made as possible. Jimmy Neutron is more visually appealing than this. I don't get why the fuck they'd make it.
I mean, okay. I don't know any specifics about this shit because I'm not the one making a video myself. I'm the one making a video complaining about the guy who doesn't do any research and makes shitty videos. And so maybe this is a little ironic. However, I would just say if you go on Netflix and you look at the way everything is trending at the moment, people are spending less and less money on movies. It's just like, Netflix originals, they'll make all kinds of shit. I don't even know what the budget was for this, but I saw The Gray Man and I assumed that it was going to be a good movie because the cast was relatively solid. But I watched The Gray Man, that Netflix original. That was one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen. There's so much content available for streaming now. We live in a drastically different world than we used to when, like, the majority of movies that were being made were like major motion pictures with, on average, pretty decent sized budgets. That's what I can remember anyway. It's different now. There's got all kinds of tiny production companies and shit making complete rubbish for streaming services because the tastemakers in the industry aren't, critics or people really working in Hollywood anymore. It doesn't feel like it's just the average person who doesn't give a fuck and just wants to go home and like sit on the couch and turn on Netflix and then pass the fuck out within the first 30 minutes of whatever is happening. It's all about fucking volume now. So if I were to speculate why Mega Man 2 is a completely massive piece of shit, it's probably because the market for films is very different than it was 14 years ago when Megamind 1 came out. And also, like, who doesn't know, like, everybody's aware that IP just gets hoard out and stretched for every last dollar that it can produce. We see this with superhero movies. They do remakes of all kinds of shit, and all the new ones are, I don't want to say 100% of the time, but the majority of the time they're almost always worse than the original because the environment today and the expectations are much lower and the environment's different.
Begin with. It's not like they even really had a story to tell either. It's as simple as it gets. Megamind's the hero now. The Doom Syndicate, they want him to be evil again, so he puts on this facade that he's evil and only pretending to be a hero. And it's just such a snooze fest. Like, nothing happens at all because they didn't want to animate anything at all. So even when you reach the end of the movie where they're having like the final showdown between Megamind and the Doom Syndicate, it looks like you're watching a scene out of the Butt Ugly Martians. They put no effort into any aspect of this. I thought maybe they were saving the budget for the final fight, but that was actually...
Again, Charlie's complaining about other people not putting any effort in to whatever they're making, which I still find is funny.
Worst animation for the entire film, surprisingly. So the final fight, it's basically one move for each member, and it defeats them. So, the hypnotist, he gets defeated because Megamind pours a little bit of concrete on him. The lady who's controlling the weather, shooting lightning, she gets defeated because he has her shoot the lightning and it redirects at her and it defeats her. And her defeat is a clip I'd really love to play because it is the perfect example of how lazy this shit is. The lightning hits her and she's like, ooh, and then they don't bother animating anything, so what they do is they just drag her down and then she falls over. The word stiff doesn't even do it justice. It really feels like this was left in by accident. Like it was like the pre-viz, before they go in and polish it up, but then they just said, fuck it, run it. Just print it as is. It's so bad. There's nothing in here that's even remotely interesting. The writing is just the safest, by-the-numbers, formulaic lines ever, non-stop puns out the wazoo, which really makes me feel like AI had a large role to play in it, because a lot of the puns feel like something ChatGPT would spit out if you're trying to do like a comedy night with it. It
Kind of like your videos, bro.
just doesn't work at anything it even aims to do, because it doesn't aim to do anything. It's just actually a waste of an hour and 25 minutes.
There you go, man. I think he understands why shitty shit is being shit out. Like, yeah, I mean, it's all about volume now. Not only on Netflix and Peacock, but also on YouTube. There's people just shitting out low effort, low researched, completely devoid of interesting point fucking YouTube videos, and movies. It's all the same. It's like, I don't know. I don't even want to say it's hypocritical, but moist hypocritical. I guess it is.
I think it's actually just there to be noise for children.
Your videos are noise for adults.
Like, there's no other purpose for it. It's just a lot of fucking noise for kids. But it doesn't realize that in this day and age, kids get unlimited amount of noise through things like TikTok, where parents just sit them down in front of an iPad and they just endlessly doom scroll TikTok.
Dude, that's your YouTube videos, man. Oh my god. This is awesome. And you don't need to, like, the videos he puts out require, I don't even want to say 30% of your brain. Like, it's, if you were to look at its DNA, you were to analyze its DNA, it probably, a moist critical video and white noise are they're probably the difference between like a human and a chimpanzee. 99% genetic similarity between the two.
Is going to be boring even to them, because the attention span has rotted so far, deteriorated to such a alarming degree. This wouldn't do anything. Like, I don't think kids are going to be, Megamind Doom Syndicate fans, because it's fucking boring. I can't think of a single redeeming quality about this movie. Pretty much no one can. It has like a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. So not even like the most...
That's why he's making a video about it, because everybody else has already given their opinion. He's got the green light to be disappointed in this film.
Generous critics in the world can drum up a single compliment for it. I would hesitate to call this better than Food Fight, which is that animated disaster that I'm sure everyone remembers because it's been memed to death. It is infamous in how bad Food Fight is, and I would say that this isn't really any better. I would actually say that this is more soulless than Food Fight at the very least. The only thing worse than watching Megamind Doom Syndicate...
Here we go.
...is watching Megamind Rules, the TV show spin-off that they also released the same day as this movie. So... big surprise
5.5 stars. That ain't so bad.
That they also released the same day as this movie.
Have you seen it? Has he seen it?
So, big surprise if you didn't get this news. They released this sequel movie, super stinker, and then they also said, and guess what? There's more, and released an 8-episode TV series. And holy shit, the TV series is even worse. I didn't watch all 8 episodes. I couldn't. I made it through 3. I don't know if there's a human being strong enough on this planet to power through all 8 of those episodes without blowing their brains out. It is torturous. It's so insultingly...
I wish we had a adjective counter for every time he uses a word that is describing something negatively. It's just, I don't know. It's like, where's kind of the shock value of anything with this dude? Like, you know exactly what you're going to get when you click on a video every single time. He's just going to use a bunch of words to describe how again, universally that something that is universally understood to be bad is bad. He's just articulating opinions in a different sequence in order with slightly different words than everybody else is already saying. I just it's just such a pointless exercise, the entire fucking thing.
Bad. And yes, I get
Like, it's one thing if you, I don't know, if you review movies and you talk about good movies and you talk about bad movies and blah, blah, blah. You talk about, you make your own shit. You make all kinds, but it's like, dude, he just, like, all the three videos that I've watched, he just talks about how bad stuff is all the time. And it seems, he has, like, a very skewed perception of, like, the general world as well, like him complaining about fucking Lululemon products. It's like, dude, you're so desperate to call them shit that you haven't even, like, mentally taken the time to figure out what the benefits of not wearing Walmart clothes might be.
that this is made for kids, but that doesn't mean that it has to be unwatchably shitty. Avatar: The Last Airbender. The primary audience was made for kids, but anyone of all ages can appreciate it. A good show, even if it's aimed at a younger audience, can be appreciated and enjoyed by people of all ages. That's the sign of good, high-quality entertainment. This is definitely not that. I think they would have been better off just making a Megamind world in Fortnite custom games. It would have
Fortnite
at least
reference.
been a little more entertaining, I imagine, if you put little mini games in there or something.
Yeah, that wasn't as bad as the walk down the street and walk down the cool Halloween street and get candy from the bucket line, but that was also pretty shitty, shittily written.
But watching the movie or the show here is just not worth it at all to anybody of any age.
It's
I
not worth
imagine.
it. Okay.
Like I said, I don't see this being a hit with children because it's at its core boring.
You don't see the 6% thing on Rotten Tomatoes being a hit? Wow, dude. You are one brave critic.
It's a nothing burger. There is nothing that
Dude, your entire existence is a fucking nothing burger, man. You suck.
happens in the show or movie at all. At most, what you'll get is Megamind firing his blaster, and that's it. There's really nothing else. The villains barely use their powers at all, really. I mean, they kind of do, but they only use it for, like, a single projectile each, mainly. It's just, it's so lame. I don't think anyone is going to like this at all. And I'm not saying the only way for this to have been successful is to have a ton of action or anything, but Jiminy Christmas, it certainly would have helped keep you awake when watching it. The writing is just so bad. Like,
Your
even
writing's
like
bad.
for a kid's show, it's bad. SpongeBob is a kid's show, and that has great writing. Like, it doesn't matter how
I don't even like. It's just a lazy fucking review. It's a lazy review. Like, he doesn't really talk about anything specific. He doesn't explain why the writing is bad. He sort of went into detail about how the animation isn't very good, but only in, like, one particular scene. Like, again, we're at 9 minutes and 5 seconds here. I don't know how many fucking mid-rolls he peppered this bitch with, but it's like, again, just filling the trough. Like, I don't care about somebody's opinion telling me how shitty something is if they can't make it interesting, or if they don't even care enough to try to understand or unpack why something is shitty. Like, how interesting is it if you're a professional dumper if you professionally dump on things, but you can't even really, like, analyze or articulate why things are not good? Like, the only thing he can do is state that they are not good. Like, he's really genuinely not funny and not insightful. And maybe if he put some actual time into making YouTube videos, he could come up with some, like, funny shit to say. I just feel like every single day, like, just making these videos, it's so fucking bad. And, like, him complaining about other people not putting, like, effort into their stuff is just beyond fucking ironic. Moist hypocritical.
how old you are or anything. It has great writing if you're fucking 3 years old or 30 years old. Megamind I don't think it's going to appeal to any age whatsoever. Like, if you put this on, if you put on Megamind Rules while you are pregnant, even your fetus would be bothered by it. It'd start kicking and throwing a tantrum inside your belly. It'd be trying to find ways to strangle itself with the umbilical cord or something. Like, it is miserable. No one, I think, will like this. Megamind vs. Doom Syndicate sucks as a movie. Megamind Rules sucks as a show. It was a waste of time. A complete waste of time. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya.
Wow, nice. I would say that I wasted my time too, but that kind of goes without saying. And I don't know why. I'm just like Moist Critical. I can't stop. I can't stop watching shit. By the end of this series, my fucking hair is probably going to be as long as his. Ooh, went from Megamind to Nevermind. Julia trades crypto. One video?
Hi guys, Julia Dev here. I decided
23K dislikes. Okay, anyway. All right, that's it, guys. Well, I guess that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for the next piece of shit this guy fucking... the next piece of shit that falls out of this guy's ass and ends up on my computer screen. What if he talked about something positive, or just maybe I don't fucking know. Who gives a fuck? Why am I trying to put a spin on this? I'm just gonna leave. See you tomorrow.